Congratulations, mate. A couple of days in now. Is it something what you've achieved?
Oh, not really. I mean, we've still got a weekend to go, and we'll try and go over there and compete as well as we can. Obviously, we're not sure whether the NBL guys will be available. Harry's definitely not. But again, North will be affected by it. I suppose right now Rockingham look like the favourites with Tom Jervis and Greg Hire plus some imports. They're pretty loaded over there. And believe it or not, Frankston, who finished 7th in our league, probably goes up to being one of the favourites to take out the national title. So we've still got a good group, young group. We'll go over and compete, and we'll do everything we can to bring that back. Frankston got the wild card entry by beating the COE, so they've automatically gained entry.
How's it look this weekend then? So
we get matched up on North. You don't know who you play until the second day, pending results. So not 100% sure, but to make the final, I would suggest you need to win both games. So we'll come up against the North on Friday night, and they'll be impacted as well. If Harry can't play, then they obviously lose Kadee, Krebs and Mitchell. So it sort of evens that field up, and probably the big loss for us will be Sam and JB, but we haven't had confirmation on that yet.
So is it the North, East, South, West and Central? They all there?
Yep, plus the wild card.
Yeah, right. Okay.
6 teams.
Right. So was it weird, I mean, you said last week you're going to celebrate the wins and stuff, but is it weird when you've got these extra tournaments coming up to fully celebrate, I suppose?
Oh, not really. I mean, it was motivation for everyone to go away and win the first NBL 1 national title was on everyone's lips, and you could sort of taste it, but it's been diluted with the NBL, and they're ramping up their pre-season games, and then you've got the Blitz also up in Darwin. It's really disappointing at this stage that a lot of teams may be impacted by that. So again, I think at full strength, it was definitely the North and the South, in my opinion, that were the two best teams going into battle, and that probably would have been made Friday night, that decision on who was going to end up and win that competition. So it's anyone's game right now. We'll take any young group. We've still got Jamar and AJ and Ollie, who's created some attention overseas as well since the weekend. So it's an interesting landscape, and we'll do everything we can to go over and win this title.
Can you expand on that for us? What have you heard?
A couple of NBA G League teams apparently interested from an agent that I know. So depending on what he wants to do, and his family life is obviously very important to him here, but we'll see.
Pretty incredible.
Incredible, yeah. It's amazing who's watching and what's happening, and he's had a fantastic year, and there are no 6'10" guys with his athleticism and build in this league, let's be honest. And if he was naturalised, fully naturalised, he would be playing in the NBL in one of those teams. It's just that he's classed as an import.
Not quite good enough to be an import?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, you got to realise this bloke's had 5-6 years out of the game playing football. So for him to come back, he's only been training 4 or 5 hours a week. It's really hard to showcase his real skills, and I always said it, if someone can get him in a gym for 6 months and just focus on hoops, he'd be an extraordinary pickup.
Your future, you made it pretty clear that what might be for you if you won that title. Are you any clear on that?
Oh, look, as I said, you put your head on the pillow at night and you have a lot of thoughts go through the head on what's best for the family, and right now that you probably consider what more can you do down here. I mean, we've basically gone back to back at this level. We've had some really good times, quality groups, but at the end of the day you're a volunteer, and it's a lot of time and energy and preparation. So yeah, I think for me it would take a lot to change my decision. Right now I'm just looking forward to the weekend and probably have an announcement soon after that.
What do you want to do? I mean, I read that you want to get coach at a high level. What's that mean?
100%. You want to coach. You want to challenge yourself every year, every week, every day. You want to have some challenges in place and try and see how far you can get to. I mean, that was my whole career, from playing CBA or ABA back in the day into NBL and then back to Siebel and now NBL 1. I mean, it's always trying to compete and make yourself better at what you do and your craft. And I feel like going another year with the Hobart Chargers is just another year under my belt. It's not something that probably interests me anymore, as far as it's not as challenging as what I'd like it to be.
So what do you want to do? Where do you want to end up?
I just want to coach. It could be another club. It could be anything. It could be just something that again, something that challenges me to try and win and try and make a team better. I like to start from the ground and build up. So that's what I've always done, and I think I joined the group back in 2016 after a couple of years off, and they hadn't made the playoffs, and we've gone grand final, pre-final, 2 championships. And that's what I love doing, is trying to be successful at what we do and put your craft out there and try and make people better.
Are you prepared to move away from
Yeah. I've spoken to Belinda and the family, and the timing's probably getting there where we will make a move if there's an opportunity that exists. At the same time, I've got to make sure preparations are right for this week. I don't want it to all be about that, but you always think about what's for you moving forward. So we have had those conversations, and definitely that we would move for another challenge.
Do you have enough experience to coach an NBL team in your own right as a coach?
Oh, look, I don't. You look at some of the coaches there, like JR. Everyone's had their different ways of getting to where they need to go, and you don't know whether you're ready until you're in the moment. Do I think I can recruit well? I think I can. Do I think that all I know is how to win? That's all I understand, is how to win, and that's what drives me. If I don't make playoffs or we don't win games, I'm the first one to be behind the computer working out why weren't we successful. But again, it's just having that challenge in front of you and making you want to work towards being successful, and that's what I've always done.
How was Saturday night as far as celebrations go? Did you sort of...
No, I was straight back to the hotel. Most of the guys went out. I've had a bit of a lurgy, a bug, so straight to sleep for me. And obviously Sam and JB and Ollie, and I know those guys didn't go, so there wasn't much. We sort of celebrated in the rooms after for about an hour and talked to each other and spoke. And the thing that drives me more than anything is a lot of these guys want to do it again and come back, and they've really enjoyed the last 6 months, even though you're travelling to Mount Gambier and driving 5.5 hours and then Keilor the next day. It's a tough gig, but they enjoy each other's company, and that's the other thing that drives me, is the camaraderie among the group. I think it's for years now we've just had great players come in and really buy into the system and want to be successful, and to see Sam Mack and JB and Harry prepare for games and know what it takes to get to NBL. If you look at Phoenix Roby and Luke Brown come on for a couple of minutes, they're diving on balls, the energy's there, it didn't stop. And I think when you see Sam McDaniel make a play and dive on a ball with 3-4 minutes to go, it sort of drives you to say, hey, that's what it takes to get to that level, and he's just been an absolute pleasure to coach.
Pretty exceptional game for him, wasn't it?
Oh, look, exceptional, not just individually, but just like his whole demeanour, like just walking into the rooms and his preparation and how professional he is, and Scott Ross done an amazing job putting that team together. Like, now I understand. I mean, I've learned a lot as well. Like Jared Bairstow, 2 quality guys, and Roth had his vision from the start, and I've learned a lot off Scott as well, just understanding what people you need to be successful, and I think he's done that really well.
Would you like to work for the Jack Jumpers?
Oh, I'd love to one day, yeah. But, mate, they've made no wrong decisions right now, so it's been a pleasure to watch it come together and watch and be sort of have that access to that sort of level of people involved.